Donald Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi appeared before a congressional committee today and gave answers to Democrats that only reinforce the idea that everyone in the Trump administration is completely incompetent. What you're about to see is Pam Bondi get really confrontational and try to take shots at former President Joe Biden when she's being asked about this current administration, the incompetence, the corruption, the cruelty of this administration. If you enjoy videos like this, be sure to subscribe to Reflect Politics so you get my future videos delivered straight to you.
I just wonder, sincerely wonder, do you hear how hollow your last words sound in light of the pardon of all of the January 6th people, day one of this administration? I believe you're sincere. You want to protect law enforcement, but your principal, the president, pardoned every single one on January 6th. It rings hollow when you say these words, that if you spit on a police officer, we're going to go after you. Talk to my friends who are Capitol Police officers who were here, 5 of whom are no longer here. They are dead. And this administration, and I guess I want to ask you, did you have any advice for the president when he came forward with the blanket pardon on January 20th? What advice did you offer the president?
I am never going to talk about conversations, advice in any way.
Were you asked
I'm
for
never
advice?
going to talk about discussions I've had or
Because
have not had.
You'll remember.
I can answer with the President of the United
Yes or no?
States.
Did you give him any advice, yes or no?
I am not going to discuss any conversations
That's a
that
no.
I have had with it.
And
You just put
your
words in
own
my
word,
mouth. I am
but-
not going to
No,
discuss.
I'm going to reveal your own words.
I am
Just
not
a moment.
going
Please
to
stop.
discuss
Please stop. This
conversations
is my
that
time.
I've had with the President of the United States.
Attorney
You asked
General,
me a question.
I would like to reclaim
and
the
you
last
asked
20
me to
seconds.
answer.
I have asked to reclaim my time. Please put 20 seconds back on the clock.
You have an extra 30.
If the general,
She answered and then answered it again and answered it again with a non-answer. I ask for your consideration
if the
of putting time
gentlelady
on.
will let the witness answer the question, we will.
She
proceed.
answered it by saying no. Okay. The 3 hallmarks of this administration are incompetence, corruption, and cruelty. I'm going to focus today on corruption. And in my mind, there are 2 types of corruption: personal, and then the other I'm going to call public, governmental. Attorney General, have you ever been registered as an agent of a foreign principal under the Foreign Agents Registration Act?
I assume you're talking about when I represented the country of Qatar for a very short time.
The answer
Hold
is
on.
yes. No,
hold
excuse
on.
me.
No.
No.
For anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. Anti-human trafficking
or
for the
no?
World Cup.
Attorney
you can't
General,
put words in my mouth.
No.
You want to talk about incompetence? You're the one that
Excuse
said
me.
Joe Biden on PBS was competent. You had to retract those words. So
Mr.
don't
Chairman.
talk to me. Don't insult me publicly.
This is so discourteous. This is so outside the committee's guidelines. Taking a personal shot at me while swiping at Biden? Very strange and very unprofessional of you. The answer is yes or no, and the answer is yes. You were registered as a lobbyist for Qatar. Is that correct? Yes. Never mind. Don't answer. Did you disclose that when you went before for the Senate for confirmation? Yes or no? No, it was not in your documents. The answer is no. President Trump.
This was discussed at my confirmation hearings in detail.
It was it was discussed, but you failed to bring up the conflict that you had. President Trump recently announced he'd accept that $400 million Qatar airplane because it was just prettier than the one he was flying around in. Is it true that you gave advice that this was legally permissible? Yes or no?
I will not discuss any advice that my Office of Legal Counsel gives to the President of the United States on any matter.
Executive privilege.
When you spoke before the Senate, you said you would ask for ethical advice. Did you recuse yourself from that issue?
And talking about unprofessional, you say the President wanted a jet because it's pretty?
Excuse
Come
me.
on, this is a Senate, this is
He
a
said it
congressional
himself.
hearing.
He said it himself. Let me go to April the 2nd. You're a part of this the president has dabbled in meme coin. He had the DOJ, disband the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team. His son recently launched the Executive Branch Club, a private club with $500,000 memberships here in D.C. Any of this seem like it might be a problem, might be profiteering from the office, and maybe you and your ethics team might be concerned about these conflicts of interest, your own and the president and his family? Yes or no? Any concerns?
What I would be concerned about in Pennsylvania are all the child sex cases that we've prosecuted, all the CSAM cases that we've prosecuted.
Did you hear
in
my
Pennsylvania.
question? I
That's
asked
what
the
I would
witness
be
to
concerned
actually
about.
answer questions that are asked.
Congresswoman Dean.
Chairman?
Please let the witness answer the question.
She didn't. And I would like to ask you one more question. You're not just complicit in this, you're actively helping and profiting. Isn't it true that on April the 2nd, the same day that Trump announced his chaotic tariff regime that plummeted the stock market, you sold more than $1 million worth of your shares in Trump Media stock? Trump Media stock fell 13% in the following days. Seems you avoided that loss. Well done. I yield back.
May I answer that, Chairman? I complied with my ethics, and yeah, I would take a class in financial literacy if you think I profited from that, because I lost a tremendous amount of money. Congresswoman, and also on page 25 of my SJ2, it lists my involvement with Qatar for anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. Thank you.
So there you go. Pam Bondi acting like a child during those 5 minutes. And it was really the same with every Democrat on that committee who spent 5 minutes asking her questions. And then you would go over to the Republican side and they would start off their questioning with, "Oh, Pam Bondi, we're just so glad to have you as our attorney general." Like right after Democrats pointed out just how corrupt she is, how incompetent she is. It's truly, this hearing was a good indicator of the delusional world that Republicans live in. Now, let's get to what Pam Bondi actually said during these last 5 minutes. She said that she couldn't be corrupt because she sold those media shares and lost money. But what she fails to realize is that you can be corrupt because you sold shares with prior knowledge and you didn't lose as much money as you would have. I mean, really, Pam Bondi? Do you think we're idiots? And then there were parts where she would throw out insults and then giggle. She tried to control the time here, which, if you know anything about these hearings, all of the time is controlled by the representatives asking the questions. They can tell you to stop. They can reclaim their time if you're filibustering like Pam Bondi did here. And the chairman was just totally on the side of Pam Bondi and made it clear that the chairman really has no respect for Democrats on this committee. And I guess it's because they spend their time making these Trump administration officials look like fools. Pam Bondi says, "Well, I didn't disclose the fact that I was a registered foreign agent, but we discussed it during my confirmation hearing." Yeah, you discussed it because they found out you were registered as a foreign agent and they brought it up. Oh my goodness. Time and time again, we see that Pam Bondi is the lookout person for the Trump and the Trump family who are inside the bank robbing the joint. And the Trump family has pulled off what is going to go down in history as the biggest heist in the history of the world, really, because they've put the lookout person in charge of the police station, in charge of the responders to bank robberies while they're robbing the bank. Truly insane times we're living in. Let me know what your reflections are of Pam Bondi's childlike behavior in the comments below, and be sure to share this video to bring more people into the fold. Thanks for watching. My name is Brendan Plank with Reflect Politics. See you in the next video.